Hello everyone, it's me, Prismatic, and welcome back to another tutorial. Today I will be showing you guys how to make a little enemy like this for Blaze AI. I'll show you how to make a melee enemy and a ranged enemy. I won't go super in depth, but a basic tutorial to get you started with a very good and reliable AI system. So here I have a cube, and this is just a melee guy, but I'll show you uh, just what it does real quick. Let it load. There. And we can see I'm in. He wanders around with now. Pause real quick. Sorry about that. Get rid of that guy. So we can follow him, and he wanders around. He does his stuff, and he just wanders randomly. So he just picks a location and walks to it. So get in his sight. Sits there. I come here, and he follows me. And he attacks. That's just an audio glitch with me, but let's see. And he hurts me. He's set to keep a bit of a distance from me. That's my fault. So, like, he should be right up. Yeah. But he follows me around and swings at me. I don't have an animation set, but anyways, let's get started. So, we can start off by spawning in a new empty game object. So we can go here, create empty. I'm just gonna name this Blaze AI. Oh my god, AI enemy test. And I will drag on. I don't have any animations for these guys, but I will drag on one of my zombies. Get him on here. Boop, boop, boop. And now we can see right here, we can go to add component on the actual thing. Just make sure your model is parented to the Blaze AI, to your enemy. Okay, make sure you have your enemy model parented to your new empty game object right here. Now, make sure you click on your Blaze AI enemy, add a component, and search up Blaze AI. So it will add an animator component, a nav mesh agent, capsule collider, audio source, and of course the Blaze AI component. So we can have a look here in Gizmos. We can see here our enemy. So I'm gonna move all of this down a notch so it matches the enemy model. So we can mess with your colliders all you need. But I'm just gonna keep it nice and simple. Leave it like that. That works. So you can see. Oh, make sure that the rotation he's facing, like it's facing the right direction, like your model. Make sure you have pivot here instead of center. Set it to pivot. local, set it to, or if it's global, set it to local. And you can see here the blue arrow. Make sure that your enemy is facing that blue arrow. Okay, and now his vision is, you can see his view and everything for the AI. So let's get started. Once you've messed with all your collisions, you can do all that. If you have an animator, go for it. You can select your controller, um, and whatever else. But we can go down here, and we will start with the melee enemy, or the ranged enemy. It's the same setup, just one, except we only change one setting. So we'll start with the ranged. So use root motion, keep that off unless you want him to walk with your animations. Like let's say he's playing a walk animation right now and he stands and he's still, but his legs are moving. That's not root motion. But if he moves in the animation while his legs are moving, that's root motion. If you want to use the animations movement instead of the actual nav mesh movement, you can do that. I'm not going to do that. I don't have any animations, so don't worry about that. Set your ground layer. I'm going to set it to ground because that's the layer I have set on the ground. And audio scriptable. So for this, we will make a new object, Blaze AI, down here. Audio scriptable. I'm going to name it zombie audio scriptable. There we go. Now, on here, we can put it onto our AI, right there. And now, you can add all of your sound effects that you want. I won't add any right now, but you can add whatever you want. Normal state for idle, that's for the idle, when they're searching for the player. Returning to the normal state, like if they give up for searching for the player, so they go back to idle, you can play a sound for that. Surprise state for when they see the player, they'll like jump a little bit, so you can say like, oh, he's right there, like make it play a voice line or something. Attacks, so you can put the attacks like 1, 2, 3, 4, however many you want. Attack idle, when they're not actually attacking. And then move to attack. This is when they're moving while attacking. Chase is when they're chasing. Return to patrol is when they're patrolling. Or like returning to the alert state when they're looking for the player. We will not mess with this, so don't worry about that. You can, and you can probably figure out whatever else is here. The rest is quite simple, and very self-explanatory. So we can go down, back to our enemy, and here, use local avoidance. This is if you want them to stay away. Like if you have a bunch of AIs, make sure they keep a little bit of distance from each other. I'm just going to keep that off, because I only have one AI spawned in right now. Waypoints. If you're doing a stealth game, where you only want the enemies to walk to certain waypoints, you will set the position. You will go down here, turn off randomize, waypoints, and set the location, like the coordinates. We're not going to do that though, because I prefer randomize. It's more natural. So you can set the radius, how long it take, time before turning, turn speed, all this good stuff. But we can just leave it blank for a basic enemy. Miscellaneous, check for enemy contact. So this is if the player gets too close to the enemy, but they still can't see them, it will go into attack mode and start attacking the player. So that way they can't get too close to the enemy without getting attacked. So I'll keep that off right now. Friendly AI just makes him friendly. Distance calling, that just makes it so we like stop. I think that, actually, what does this do again? Oh yeah, it just like stops the animations and the AI. Or when the player gets too far away. But don't worry about that. Ignore unreachable enemy. This is only for, wait, this part's only for optimization. But anyways, ignore unreachable enemy. So if you can't reach the player, then ignore them. That's it. Warnings, don't need to worry about that really. Okay, states. So, like I said, the idle state where they're just wandering, alert state when they're searching for the player, and attack state. We will just click down here, add behaviors. Use surprised state. I'm not going to use that, but you can. You can just tweak with the settings yourself because it's quite simple. All of this is very simple to set up. But we'll leave it like this, unless you want them to be searching for the player once they wake up, or once this starts, you would turn on this vision. Here we go to setup, and this is, well, their vision. So we can see the beams. How high they can see is the green. How low they can see is the red. I want them to see about that high. That's how high they can see. So I'll move this to align it with the eyes a little more. Just like that. Right there, that works. So check target height. So if if the player gets out of view, they'll just ignore the player. So I would recommend keeping that off. Here you can see the view angle. I'm gonna copy and paste all of this to the values. Keep 100 for all of it. That gives you a realistic vision. Keeps it the same for everything, and that just works. Head, you can sync the view with the head's rotation. I don't want that though. I don't really care about that. This is debugging. You can just mess with this, but we won't. Layers to detect. Okay, so we will want default. This is what they can and can't see. So we can turn on default and player. Then here we can turn on player, because this is hostile and alert layers. The player is a hostile, so we want the player layer. Hostile tags, we will put in player. Make sure you have these layers and tags. Here in tag, I have player right here, and I have player for layers. Alert tags is if you want to put like a dead body, so they react to the dead body, and they start searching for the player. You can do that. You can just set the tag for it. Behavior, fallback tag. I'm not too familiar with this, but like it says here, it's optional. Events. This is for when they see the player. You can trigger an event. When they can't see the player, or when the player leaves their vision, then you can also trigger an event. Settings, vision frame skipping, you can leave this at 1. This is for optimization. So yeah, I just leave it like that. Vision meter is if you don't want them to see the player immediately. So they can like stay in the view for like a couple seconds and then they'll see it. I'm just gonna keep that off. Off mesh links, you can use that for jumping between points. I can actually set that up real quick. Go to nav mesh link. I believe this is what that is. So we can go here, and I want him to go from here, here. Just like that. So we can hop the fence, like that. So just leave that there. And we can, no, we don't need to drag it on. We can just leave it as is. I don't think we need to mess here. Yep. Okay, we're fine there. Now we can move to distract. So this is if you want distractions. So when we're making this with vrif, the simplest way to do it I'm going to go to our rifle, a rifle that I have. Lever action rifle 1. Yeah, Blaze AI distraction. Add that component. Make sure distract on awake is off. Agent layers, I'll just set it to everything. Blocking layers, I set it to nothing, so nothing can block the distraction. Distraction radius, I have it set to 30 because it's a gunshot, right? And now we can go up here, once that's been set up, to on shoot event. Click the plus, and then you'll want to drag on lever action rifle. Click here, Blaze AI distraction, trigger distraction down here. And now, when you shoot, it will trigger distraction. So, let's say he's just chilling over here. I shoot over here. He will be alerted and run over to check what the sound was. If he doesn't see anything, you can set it so he goes into alert mode. But yeah, that's distractions are very simple to make. Here, then we can go down here. Nope, too far down. Turn to alert on distract. That's what I want. So he starts searching for the player once he is distracted. And play distracted audios is if you have audios set in the audio scriptable object, you can just make it so he plays a sound when he's distracted. Here, turn on every distraction is for that's for the so they turn on every distraction. You can set the priority level and can distract. Let that load. Okay. So yeah, priority level. So you can mess with this, and that's so how much they actually care about your the distractions. So there'll be a chance that he does go and check, or a chance that he doesn't check. All right. So now you now you can see my cursor. I fixed that. Hit. We don't need to mess with hit or death or companion. We're making an enemy. Unless you want a companion, then yeah, companion mode on, add companion behavior, and set the player for the transform here, and then you're good. But we're not messing with these three. So now we can move on. So normal state behavior. This is their normal state when they're just chilling. So move speed, I'm going to keep it at 3. Idle animation, you can set the idle animation like zombie idle, because I have a zombie, but you can set it to whatever you want. I don't have animations again, so move animation, set your move animation, animation time. This is how long your animation is, so just set the length of your animation here, and then you're good. Idle time, you can set between 2 values, so like 2 and 7, that will work. Play patrol audio, you want that for audio. On state enter and on state exit events, you don't really have to worry about that. Avoid facing obstacles, just makes it so they don't face obstacles, so not staring at a brick wall, but you can keep it off or on. Move speed for alert, it's the exact same thing. Play patrol audio, you can set it so they return to normal, the normal state after a little bit. This glitches my animations, so I'm going to keep it off, especially since I don't have any animations. You guys you don't have to worry about that. If you want to use it, go for it. Again, set your idle animation, your move animation, so you can set a different move animation for when they're like searching, so they can be a bit more cautious or something. But same with the idle, you can set a more cautious idle, like they're searching around. But yeah, that's it. And then attack state behavior. So here, general. I'm gonna keep the move speed at 5. This is just a good move speed. You can set your idle animations, animation, and your move animation. You can set the animation time for I don't know, both of them, I guess. Target location update time. That's how long it takes for their brains to process that the player has moved to a new position. Equip weapon. This is if you want it so when they see the player and they're chasing them, uh, let's say we have a knife here. That will spawn. We can set it so it plays an animation and the knife spawns in when we see the player, when this guy sees the player, and makes it so he puts it away when he's not chasing the player. I don't have a weapon for this guy, so I'm gonna keep that off. Anyways, moving on. Attack. So here, what I like to do. This is not the way that. This isn't really the way that it's done. I keep ranged on, or no, I keep ranged off. Sorry. Uh, And here is where we need to get a bit more complex. So here, look for a gun, the vrif gun. So I'm going to search, let's just say pistol. That'll work. I'll just take one of my weapons from over here. But you can find the vrif pistol and parent it to this guy's chest. Or if you're making a guy with a gun, I'll show you that. I'll show you. So let's get a pistol, for example. Here. I don't need this. So here. If you are, so like I said, if you're doing an enemy with a weapon, you can just disable the model. First thing we need to do is disable our pistol model. So disable all that, and the bullet here. So now it's gone, pretty much. I'll get rid of the trigger here. You can't really see it. There, the model is gone. The pistol has disappeared. So now, on rigid body, on the pistol, set it to kinematic, because we don't want it to have gravity or anything. Actually, no, you can just remove it. It works. Go down a little bit. Grabbable haptics off, or remove it. All the colliders can be disabled or removed. I just disable them though. Damage collider, don't need that. Unity grabbable events, we don't need that. This is my own script, which I do not need. Okay, now you have set up most of it. Valid layers up here in the raycast weapon script. Here, add player. So they can attack, they can hurt the player. You can set your damage, max range. Since I'm starting off with a ranged, I'm going to keep the ranged like that. So we can go here and change the gunshot sound to whatever you want. If you're making a shooter enemy, you can keep the gunshot sound. If you're making a melee enemy, which we will need to keep the pistol, you follow all these same steps for a melee enemy. You can set it to like a slashing sound. I'll keep it a gun sound though. So, now down here, reload method. Set it to infinite ammo. And then we're good there. Must chamber rounds. Turn that off. And bullet in chamber. Turn that on. Now we are good. So we can parent our pistol to our enemy. Just like that. Now, go back down to attack state behavior and add an attack event. Then drag in the vrif pistol and raycast weapon. Look for shoot. There you go. Make sure you add, even if you don't have animations, just add an attack here. Attack duration, I'll set to 0.1 because it's just a gunshot. Audio index, this is which audio you want it to play. 0 would be the first one you set, 1 would be the second one, and so on and so forth. apply root motion. That's just for the animation. So if you want him to like run up and kick, you can do, or if for like a melee guy, you can do that. You can turn on root motion, set your animation time and your animation if you are doing that. But besides that, we can close that. And now layers check on attacking. Don't worry about that. Attack distance. So since this guy's arranged, we'll set it to 4. 4 is a good range. Chase on evade. So if the player gets too far, they can chase him. Don't worry about that. Attack in intervals. I don't want that, since it's just a gun guy. This is if you wanted to, so every set, he'll attack every set amount of times, like in between these two intervals. I don't want that. I just want a simple attack. Rotate while attacking. You do want that, so he's always facing the player. Now, idle. You can get him to move backwards and strafe for more complex movements. You can set your animations, strafe time, strafe speed, strafe layers to avoid. I'll set that to default. Actually, no, nothing. You can move backwards. I'm going to keep that on. And yeah, just like that. Turn to target should be on, so we can face the player. And now over here, call others. So when we're attacking, when he sees the player, do we want him to call to the other AIs to get them to come over here? If so, turn that on, set the call radius to whatever you want, and set the agent layers to everything or only some specific layers. How long it takes. Do you want it to pass through object like colliders? Then keep that on. I'll do everything and just set that to some high number. Receive call from others if you want them to receive the call. That's it. Search. You can set the search location radius, so when they're searching, when they go to a search point, they'll check around. Like when we distract them, for example, that's what this is for. We shoot, and he will wander around if he doesn't find the player there. I'll just leave that like that, like as is. There'll be 3 search points, how long it takes, how long they wait there, when they end the search, when they're at the search point. You can play your audios again, and that's it. Miscellaneous, you can say attack idle audio, audio on chase, audio on move to attack. You can do all that. Your state events again. So, you can disable these. And now we can move to, oh yeah, I forgot, on distract, you need to add the behavior. I completely forgot about that. Up here in Blaze AI. Yeah, distracted behavior, time to react. No, this is for, like, the distraction. Same thing. But that's fine. Leave that as is. Now, we can do the vision, more of the vision, because our enemy, he's done. But now, on our vrif player, he will have trouble seeing the player with the base vrif stuff. So, I would make a new cube, right? Set it to make sure it's under the XRrig character controller, XRrig whatever it is, not the player controller, just under the rig. Set box collider to is trigger, yes. Set player layer and the player tag. Because this is what the AI will see to attack the player. So you can disable your mesh renderer, turn on gizmos, and make it fit the player's body. But if you want it to be accurate, we'll do this. I want it to be accurate, so we'll put it to the player's head, just like this. Head. and we'll copy and paste this, put it parent it to the main cube, and this other one will be the body. So we can scale there, here, and make the changes like that. So the whole player body. Now we need to add a component on the main one. You can set this to enemy site like I have set over here. Add a component. Follow transform. This comes with vrif. So match rotation off. Follow target. Set that to your center eye anchor. Like that. You can set your Y offset if you need to, but I don't need to. Here. Nope. This a little bit. Perfect. Now, we are good. He will be able to see us, and he will be able to attack us. So, let's see. So as you guys can see, he will follow me, and he will shoot at me. Only when I'm moving, so that's why you need strafe on. I don't know why this happens, but he does like to shoot me. We can jump over here with the off mesh link, and for some reason he freaks out. I don't know why he does that, but all good though, because his AI is working well. I can go over here, and he will follow me. See? But he looks very stiff because for no animations, and I have strafing disabled. And for making a melee enemy, you can just go down here. Not here. Ranged AI, disable that, set his attack distance to 1, and there you go. You're good. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Make sure to like and subscribe.